Alien Dawn, Part 1, The Awakening Storm. The year was 2145, and Earth had transformed into a beacon of advanced technology and unity. After decades of turmoil and global crises, humanity had come together to usher in a new era of innovation. Towering cities glowed under neon skies, orbital defense platforms circled the planet like vigilant guardians, and quantum energy grids powered every facet of life. Yet amid all this progress, a distant threat loomed, a threat born in the cold vacuum of space from a planet called Cleni. A world on the edge of tomorrow. Dr. Evelyn Ross, a leading astrophysicist at the Global Space Observatory, had spent countless nights scanning the cosmos. Her life's work was to decode the faint signals emanating from distant star systems, believing that communication with extraterrestrial life was inevitable. That belief was about to be put to the ultimate test. One crisp autumn evening, as she monitored a peculiar burst of radiation from a sector of space previously thought to be silent, she felt a shiver of foreboding. The signal pulsed in a rhythmic pattern, almost like a heartbeat. But this was no message of peace. Instead, it was the opening salvo of an invasion. The arrival of the invaders. Far beyond the familiar constellations, the inhabitants of Cleni had long been preparing for conquest. These extraterrestrial warriors, though strikingly humanoid in form, were instantly recognizable by the glistening, intricately forged armor that encased their massive, powerful bodies. Towering over the average human by nearly a head's height, they possessed superhuman strength and speed, their every movement exuding both grace and lethal precision. Their armor, crafted from an alloy unknown on Earth, shimmered with iridescent hues and bore ancient symbols, a language lost to time but charged with mystique and menace. The Clenians' technology was equally awe-inspiring and terrifying. Their ships, colossal and predatory in design, moved silently through the void, each one capable of unleashing devastating energy blasts. But perhaps the most horrifying aspect of their invasion force was not the warriors themselves, but the monstrous beasts they unleashed upon new worlds. These creatures, bred for carnage, were twisted amalgamations of muscle and malice, fanged, clawed, and exuding a bloodthirsty aura that heralded ruin. The calm before the storm news of the incoming fleet spread like wildfire across Earth. Military bases, research labs, and government command centers sprang into action. General Marcus Hayes, commander of the Earth Defense Coalition (EDC, convened an emergency meeting at the newly established Global War Council headquarters. His face, etched with determination and worry, addressed a room filled with scientists, engineers, and military strategists. "We've spent decades preparing for threats from our own kind. Climate change, cyber warfare, resource scarcity," General Hayes began, his voice resonating with urgency. "But nothing, and I mean nothing, has prepared us for an enemy like the Clenians. Their armor, their technology, their beasts, they're unlike anything we've ever encountered." Dr. Ross, having been urgently summoned to brief the council, displayed the data on a holographic screen. The incoming vessels are unlike any conventional spacecraft. Their design suggests organic integration with advanced materials, and the energy readings from their weapons, they're off the charts. We estimate their offensive capability far exceeds our current defenses. Amid the tension, a younger officer, Lieutenant Zara Nguyen, interjected. "General, what about the new plasma railguns and electromagnetic pulse cannons? The prototype orbital strike platforms are ready for deployment. Can they counter the energy shields on the alien vessels?" General Hayes nodded, though his eyes betrayed uncertainty. "Our engineers believe these weapons can disrupt the alien shield's frequency if we target their power cores precisely. But this is uncharted territory. We have mere minutes before the first wave breaches our atmosphere." The first contact. As twilight deepened over the Pacific Ocean, a shimmering line appeared on the horizon, a silent, ominous procession of ships descending through the atmosphere. The vast alien fleet moved with an eerie, silent precision. High above, orbital defense satellites pivoted into position, their sensor arrays locking onto the incoming vessels. A low, resonant hum filled the air as the first of the Klenian ships pierced the Earth's protective barrier. From the command center, Dr. Ross and her colleagues watched in disbelief as the alien craft, larger than any Earth-built warship, began to deploy. Hundreds of Klenian warriors, silhouetted against the pulsating glow of their ships, emerged in formation. Their armor caught the last rays of the setting sun, casting an otherworldly glow over the assembled forces. Even the most hardened military veterans felt a cold dread. These were not mere soldiers. They were an unstoppable force born of a civilization far beyond human imagination. Simultaneously, across the vast deserts of Nevada, where one of Earth's primary testing ranges lay, Lieutenant Nguyen led a squadron of rapid response mechs, sophisticated combat robots designed for extraterrestrial threats. These mechs, armed with dual plasma cannons and electromagnetic pulse emitters, were Earth's first line of active defense. Their systems were primed, and their pilots sat tensely in armored cockpits, their hands steady on the controls as they awaited orders. In a distant command bunker nestled within the Swiss Alps, a group of engineers and scientists worked feverishly to activate the orbital quantum disruptor, a weapon that utilized quantum entanglement to interfere with the alien technology. "If we can synchronize the disruptor with our satellite arrays," one engineer muttered, "we might just have a chance to neutralize their shield generators." The battle lines are drawn. As the first of the alien warriors landed on the outskirts of a major city, chaos erupted. The Klenians advanced with methodical, relentless precision. Civilians, caught unawares, scrambled for shelter as energy blasts illuminated the sky and the ground trembled under the weight of the invasion force. From the armored vehicles patrolling the urban centers to the anti-gravity drones zipping overhead, Earth's defense forces mobilized in a desperate bid to repel the invaders. General Hayes's voice came over the global communication network, calm yet resolute. "Citizens of Earth, this is our moment of truth. We have faced adversity before and emerged stronger. Today we stand united against an enemy determined to extinguish our light. Hold fast, for our defenders are already in motion. We will fight, we will innovate, and we will prevail." The alien warriors, however, seemed unfazed by the human outcry. With swift, almost balletic movements, they positioned themselves strategically, their glowing visors reflecting a cold, calculating intelligence. At their side, massive, snarling beasts emerged from hidden compartments in their landing vessels. These creatures, with sinewy limbs and rows of razor-sharp teeth, emitted guttural roars that echoed across the battlefield, a prelude to the carnage they were bred to unleash, the edge of a new war. As Earth's defense mechanisms roared to life, a palpable tension gripped the planet. Every technological marvel humanity had ever created was now being tested against an enemy that seemed to harness the very laws of physics in ways previously unimaginable. The orbital strike platforms fired beams of concentrated plasma, etching bright scars across the alien ships. On the ground, the mechs clashed with the Klenian warriors in brutal, acrobatic combat, their energy weapons sparking against the alien armor. Dr. Ross, monitoring the escalating battle from the Global Space Observatory, recorded every detail, her mind racing with theories and possibilities. The data streaming in suggested that the alien technology was adaptive, their shields recalibrating almost instantly after each barrage. "They learn from us," she whispered to herself, a sinking realization dawning upon her. "Every time we think we've found a weakness, they evolve." In the command center, General Hayes gathered his top strategists. "Our immediate priority is to slow their advance and protect civilian lives," he declared. "Lieutenant Nguyen, coordinate with the orbital platforms. Dr. Ross, I need your team to analyze the alien energy patterns and find a potential disruptor frequency. We have to adapt. Our survival depends on it." A hushed silence fell over the room as everyone contemplated the enormity of the challenge. For the first time in history, humanity was not merely defending its territory. It was facing an existential threat from a foe that had no regard for the delicate balance of life. The invaders were not just warriors. They were harbingers of a new era of conflict, one that would test the very limits of human ingenuity and resilience. A cliffhanger in the night. As night deepened, the battle raged on. In one corner of the ruined metropolis, Lieutenant Nguyen's mech sustained heavy damage but continued to fight, its pilot refusing to yield. Across the battlefield, a Klenian commander, recognizable by the elaborate insignia on his armor, signaled his forces forward. In that moment, as alien and human forces clashed beneath a sky filled with streaks of plasma and debris, it became clear that the fate of Earth hung in a fragile balance. In a hidden control room at the Global War Council headquarters, a critical alert flashed on every screen. The orbital quantum disruptor was reaching synchronization with the satellite network. Could this be the breakthrough that might turn the tide? Or was it a desperate gamble in the face of overwhelming odds? Dr. Ross exchanged a determined look with General Hayes. Both understood that the next few moments could change everything. The invaders had only just begun their assault, and the true extent of their capabilities, and the cost of humanity's survival, remained shrouded in uncertainty.